So I've been gardening since I was a little kid, following my Italian grandfather around the garden as we picked tomatoes and potatoes. And it just stuck with me ever since then. I went to school, got a degree in horticulture, got a master's in education, was in Thailand in the Peace Corps doing gardening. And then I worked for other organizations, national organizations, like the National Gardening Association for their magazine, and Garden Smart, a PBS show that I hosted for a while. And when I did that, I was traveling around the country visiting gardeners, doing stories. And what was fascinating was that no matter where I went, no matter what people I visited, everyone could connect on the level of the garden. Edible landscaping is a wave that's kind of come back again. It was here in the 1970s. Anyone here in the 1970s? Gardening is a very local thing, and they want to know solutions to what's happening in their yard. So when I do talks from Seattle to Sacramento, from Maine to Memphis, no matter where it is in the country, I try to do a little research beforehand, find out what's going on gardening-wise in that area. So when I'm giving these talks, I try to make them informative, people will learn something, but fun and hopefully funny too, and enthusiastic too. I try to show a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of passion for gardening, because people who will garden are really passionate people about what they're doing. So I try to interact with the audience a lot, take questions, take suggestions. And what kind of oranges do you grow?
Ornamentals, and we also grow.
I try to tell stories. People love stories, and there's such great stories about gardens and heirloom varieties and ways to grow things and trying to take care of the deer and other kinds of issues like that. And I know they're really tasty because one year I watched a chipmunk go out to my gooseberry.
I didn't get a single one this year.
That was the year I didn't either. It must have been the same chipmunk. He just moved down to Rhode Island. He would pick them, he'd suck the juices out and leave the skins on a little rock. And so there's a little pile of skins and one big fat chipmunk waddling away. Now gardening is also the kind of topic that you can use to talk about other more serious issues. Things like health, for example. But the thing about them is that the juice from them is high in vitamin B, C, and E. It's used in Europe to lower blood pressure. The juice is used in Europe for that. And also it has more antioxidants than pomegranates and blueberries. So it's a real healthful juice you can get from it. The problem is, it makes you pucker. It's very astringent. And also when we talk about kids, gardening is a perfect relationship that we can have with our kids. Now, everyone's concerned about children and obesity and not getting outside in nature and not really being engaged in learning as much. And gardens, I've found through my experience working with kids gardening around the country, is a great way for kids to be outside, getting exercise, eating fresh, healthy food, and getting excited about learning, excited about nature. And unlike other strawberries, it grows in little bunches, and it produces these nice little wild sweet fruits all season long. Great if you have kids or grandkids out there because you can just go hiding, go looking for them and sneaking them in there. And the plant spreads, but spreads slowly, so it's a beautiful plant to have in the landscape. It's also a great way to talk about the environment. You know, ways to reduce pollution, ways to reduce the amount of energy you're using, ways to create wildlife habitat in your yard. All these are issues related to the garden. It's also called the shad blow, which is when the shad would traditionally migrate up, I think, the Connecticut River, actually.
Yep.
And that's when these would be blooming, so people would know the shad would be running when the amelanchier were blooming. Great tree for the landscape. Carefree, easy tree to grow in full sun or part shade, multiple stems that grow up. And what most people don't realize about these is they have edible berries. And they're like blueberries on there. And a lot of times the birds will get them before you can. So when I'm done with the talk, hopefully people are going to walk out with a sheet of paper with all this great information and a smile on their face thinking, wow, that hour went by really fast. And a motivation to go out there and try new things in their garden and to just be more engaged in nature that's around them and use their garden as a place to grow food, grow beauty, and grow a great community with everyone in their neighborhood. Thank you very much.